What's up, girl? Oh my gosh, I hope I don't touch the mic with my lip gloss. That would be messy. Welcome back to the Realist Podcast. I'm your host, Alyssa Howard. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you're having a great weekend or whenever you're having what? Or whatever day you're listening or watching this. I noticed that a lot of my episodes get really deep and they're really profound and really specific topics, which I love and I know you love. But I wanted to do an episode about just 5 habits that have changed my life and that I'm grateful that I do and that I was introduced to. So I want to introduce them to you. I'm actually, girl, you know what they are. I'm just going to talk about them more as what they did for me and how they changed my life. So maybe I can help influence you to do the same or change your life. I don't know, girl, let's go. Like, I just don't even want to do an intro. Like, let's just get into it. Like, what are we waiting for? By the way, habits are literally just another word for patterns, hence why they're kind of hard to break and make. But consistency is all you need, and a little bit of discipline, maybe some motivation, depending on the habit, is all you need to make it stick. It's simple, but it's not easy sometimes to make and break habits, but they're worth it, especially if you're breaking bad habits and making good habits or better habits. So with that said, the first habit that has literally changed my life and that I will never stop doing is moving my body, fueling my body, both actually. Little bonus habit. I really feel like everybody and their mom should be in the gym. Like everyone. If you're not in the gym, at least like walking, yoga, doing something, even stretching, move your body because it literally releases endorphins and it makes you less depressed. It makes you happier. I've genuinely become so much more happy overall from starting working out at the gym. Now, if you don't have time or you think you don't have time to go to the gym, you don't have to go to the gym. You can literally go on walks, like get your steps in. Even getting your steps in. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just now starting to prioritize getting my steps in. Like, oh, you need 10,000 steps a day. That's kind of a lot for someone who works from home. So, that has to be something that I actually prioritize or else it won't be hit. But anyways, just moving your body in any way, even just stretching. Your body is your temple. It's the only place you'll ever live if you really think about it. So take care of it. Honestly, just taking care of it in general, not just moving it and working out or getting, steps in and stuff, but fueling it properly and giving your body the energy that it needs to function properly. Because it is true what they say, you are what you eat. You really are what you eat. And if you're out here eating fast food every day or just junk food and processed food and wondering why you feel so mentally fatigued all the time and brain fog and all this stuff and tired by 4 p.m., it's probably your diet or the fact that you don't move your body or both. It's probably your body. Like, our bodies are always talking to us. They're always telling us things. We just need to tap in and listen and see what it's trying to tell us. I found that when I go into my little slumps and funks and stuff and I'm not the most productive or I'm just not the best mentally, it's probably because I'm not eating healthy foods or at least whole foods. I'm eating more processed foods and I'm not working out. 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, it's when I stop doing those things. When I stop prioritizing my body's health and stop moving it and stop fueling it with proper foods, that's literally when I start going into a funk. That's usually like the first thing. So yeah, that is very important. That's why it's number 1. I know it seems cliche and like, oh, everyone says it. Well, they say it for a reason. It's very true. And if you're somebody that has been thinking about starting your workout journey or gym journey or just health, fitness, all that in general, just do it. Like, it's literally not a negotiable. I don't know why it hasn't been made more important since we were kids, but it really is important, and you only get one body per life. So that's kind of a big deal. Like, again, this is the only place we'll ever live. Number 2, educate yourself in every way. I've started educating myself on just everything. Like, the more you know, the better. Like, knowledge is power, and it really has changed my life as well. Like, the more you know, the better you feel, the smarter you are. Like, you're able to talk to multiple people about different things. And I like to learn about random stuff. I love learning little fun facts about stuff that I never would have learned, if I didn't pick up a book about it or look it up or do some light research about it. I feel like that's actually really attractive too, is when you know a lot. Like, when you have knowledge about certain stuff, even if it's random stuff, I feel like that's even better. Is like, how did you know about cow's reproductive system. No, I don't know. That was really random. I don't know where that came from, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just cool to know, like, why not? You know, it's the same thing with like traveling. Like, why not? We're here. We might as well see as much as we can if possible. It's the same thing with knowledge, in my opinion. Like, we might as well learn as much as we can. That's how my mindset is, and I'm so glad it's like this. As soon as I started learning about even my spirituality, diving more deep into that, learning about why we're even here and like our purpose and all that stuff, it has really helped expand my mind. That's really the thing, is like expanding my mind. And just like we have muscles that we work out in the gym and whatnot, our brain is also a muscle. It's also an organ. It's also something you can work on and expand and train to work for you and do things for you, you know? I love to read. I love reading. Read. If you don't read books, you really should start. It's not that bad, trust me. Like, in school, it was made to be a chore and like all this, I don't want to read. Like, I don't want to read a freaking textbook, which that's valid. And nobody was going to the library for fun unless you were doing that. Cool. Like, I love that for you. But as an adult, I've learned to love reading because I'm educating myself and I'm learning new things. And there's actually so much information that you can gain and knowledge you can gain from reading books. Like, especially self-improvement books about yourself. Love it. I love it. I haven't even read Atomic Habits yet, but I know that book is going to change my life. I literally have 2 copies of it in my bookshelf right now. But yeah, like any self-improvement books, self-help books, or books about literally anything, the most random things, because books really go into detail about certain topics. That's why I think I like reading books so much, is because they go into depth, like in depth about certain topics, and you can just learn so much about it. Like, I just like expanding my mind. I feel like I like to be aware of things. I like to know things. I like to educate myself, and I feel like it really has changed my life. It's changed how I talk to people. It's changed my conversations with people. Like, you lack depth if you don't have knowledge on things. Like, ask yourself, what conversations you have on on a regular basis. Like, what are your average conversations with people? If they're not a little bit interesting, and I don't mean interesting talking about somebody else, I'm not talking about gossip, I'm talking about like, going deep into certain things or like certain topics. Like, if you're not doing that, you're missing out. It's so fun. It's actually so fun going deep into topics with people, especially like-minded people that also educate themselves and know a little bit about everything. Like, I genuinely, that's my goal. One of my goals is to just know a little bit about everything. Like, why not? We're here. We might as well learn about, like, I don't know, just random stuff, because I think that's so powerful and, like I said, attractive. It also makes your conversations not boring, and you can almost connect with anyone at that point. Like, I like knowing that I can talk to anyone at pretty much any age range, any niche or whatever, and know that there's probably something that I can connect with them on, and something that we can talk about that I know a little bit about and that I feel comfortable talking about because I have a little bit of knowledge on it. Like, oh, you know about space? Like, oh yeah, we could definitely talk about like astrology or like whatever. It literally could be anything. It could be bears. It could be, I don't know why I keep going back to animals, but it could be about animals. It could be about the earth, about the human body. Like, there's so much stuff that we could learn about and we're not. So that's also why I love TikTok. Like, my For You page is not baddies clips and like goofy shit. It's literally random educational things or motivational clips from like Kai or AMP. I don't know. I like my For You page actually because I learned so much, like random stuff, and I like that. Even educating yourself about yourself is something that I am so glad that I started doing, and something that I will forever push y'all to do is learning about yourself, learning how you are, because everyone is different. So you might have different morals than someone and not even fully know because you don't really like dive deep into yourself. Or you might have like different opinions, but because you're always looking at other people's opinions before forming your own, now you don't know if that's your opinion or someone. I don't know. I feel like asking the right questions will get you the right answers, and that goes for everything. That goes for learning about things outside of us and external stuff, but also about ourselves and internal stuff. I think healing and just like learning about myself has literally been the best thing I've ever done, because I'm so comfortable with myself because I know myself, and I wouldn't know myself the way that I do if I wasn't asking questions about myself and answering them and trying to just get to know myself. Habit number 3, positive affirmations. Speak life into yourself. Speak positively to yourself and learn to reprogram your mind. This is probably my top habit, is talking positively to myself, because how we talk to ourselves, how we view ourselves, and what we say to ourselves and even other people about ourselves is literally how our reality shows up for us. And I know I talk about this all the time, and that's because it's true, and it is life-changing. It has changed my life. It has made me significantly more happy, significantly more successful, and just happy overall because of what I feed myself, what I feed my brain. Our minds are very powerful, so powerful that if we say we're not powerful, then we're not. What we say to ourselves, literally, our brain is listening. Our subconscious mind is taking that in as true. So that's why I always exercise positive affirmations. I'm always talking to myself highly. I'm always in the mirror you're that bitch, okay? I literally go on self-talk rampages where I will just hype myself up for 5 minutes straight and just talk to myself I change people's lives, and that's so cool and powerful. I'm powerful. I'm here for a reason. God created me for a reason. Just speaking life into yourself and being really positive, it will change your life. It will change how you view yourself, and that really is everything. Self-concept is so powerful. I wish it was talked about more sooner, which is why I'm here though, because now y'all gonna hear from me, okay? I don't know how to stress this enough. How you talk to yourself and how you view yourself is literally how your life is, and how what's the word? I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but just how the quality of your life is, I guess. Because think about it, if you're talking to yourself negatively all the time, oh, I'm so lazy, or I never get things done, or I'm always late, or I just stuff like that, or oh, I'm ugly, I'm fat. If you're talking to yourself like that, that is how you view yourself. And so you're just gonna go through life sad and just not feeling good. But when you change your words with yourself and you speak highly of yourself and to yourself, it's literally going to change your output on life and how you view it, not only about yourself but other people. As soon as I started working on my confidence, and I mean not just external confidence, humbly speaking, I know I am very beautiful, and I'm so blessed and grateful. I be looking at myself damn, God really did this big one. Oh my gosh, I am beautiful. I know that I'm very confident in my looks, but I even was struggling with my confidence internally. And so I worked on that, and now I'm confident inside and out. Nobody can shake me. And no matter how hard people try to knock me down, it won't work, because I am confident inside and out. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know that I'm a good person, and I know that I provide value for people, and I'm a good person. I'm just a good person. And yes, that is partially how we're raised and the things that we see and all that. But honestly, I truly believe it's also how I talk to myself and how I view myself. I view myself as highly valuable and very important, and not even in a cocky way. I feel like everyone should be the main character in their lives. Everyone should delusionally think the world revolves around them, which technically it does. If you think about it, it actually does. Scientifically, how our brain is, and the world, aka how we view it, and our reality revolves around us and how we view it, and how we think. Perspective is everything. You could have two identical twins, and if one person thinks the world is shitty, there's always bad things going on, and if they're focusing on that, that's what shows up in their life. But if the other twin is no, life is good, there's so many good people in the world, yeah, there's bad, but I choose not to focus on that because there's polarity, just a different mindset, then that's how the world shows up for them. So yes, the world does revolve around you and your mind and how you view it. So I say that to say, really be careful of what you speak over yourself, and even over the world and over your external reality, because what you focus on grows, and the things that you talk about, your subconscious mind is listening, and so is the universe. It's universal law that what you put out comes back to you. So if you're putting out negativity 10 times out of 10, you're receiving more negativity. If you're putting out lack, a scarcity mindset, oh, I don't have enough of this, or I don't have this, or I wish I had this, then you're going to keep receiving more of that. If you're speaking abundantly and positively, you're going to receive more of that. If you're so grateful for everything in your life, you're going to receive more things to be grateful for. There's a reason why self-concept and just talking to yourself in a certain way is so important. It literally is how your life shows up for you. And that is not supposed to be taken lightly. That should not be taken lightly. You should really focus on how you view yourself, and work on changing it. Everyone can. If you think that you're around people that are also the same way, that think negatively, I would suggest maybe distancing yourself from them, or watch what you consume. And I don't mean just diet. I mean what you watch on TV, what you watch on TikTok, who you follow. If you're following the Kardashians and you feel like they make you insecure because their body is literally like a fucking doll, unfollow them. Like, be careful of what you consume, because your mind is always listening to you, and the thoughts that you have are what happens in your life and like how you view it. So that is really important. And honestly, that is the top habit that has genuinely changed my life, because it's genuinely changed my outlook on life. There's not many days where I am negative, and even if I do have like a negative moment, I always turn it around into something positive. I have a very optimistic mindset, and I look at things, with the glass half full rather than the glass half empty. And like, I just look at the positive in everything, because there is positive in everything. There's also maybe negative in everything. Again, it just depends on how you view it. So you might as well view it in a positive way. Like, it feels better to be happy. You get to choose how you show up in the world. You get to choose if you want to be miserable. You get to choose if you want to put in the extra work to reprogram your mind and think more positively and be happy. So I strongly encourage you to just talk to yourself in a nice way. Stop being mean to yourself. Like, if some of the things that we say, I'm not going to say we because I don't do this, but some of the things that people say about themselves, if they said it about someone else, you would be looked at crazy. Like, if you literally just said, oh yeah, my friend's fat and ugly. Huh? But you are allowed to say it to yourself. No. Like, literally treat yourself like a person, like another person. Act as if, I saw this TikTok, this guy was saying, like, act as if you were assigned to take care of this, like, human, which is you. And, like, your job, the only job you have on earth, is to make sure this human is safe and happy and healthy. Would you be giving them cocaine? No. Like, would you be allowing them to eat junk food every single day and never move their body and talk shit about themselves? And no, like, you would be like, no, get up. You're okay. You want to be happy here. I'm going to help you be happy. I don't know. I just feel like, again, perspective is everything. It really is everything. So just be a little bit more cautious, at least. Like, be a little bit more self-aware about what you're saying about yourself, to yourself and to other people. Number 4, leave your comfort zone. This is something that I still kind of struggle with, but the original beginning of me leaving my comfort zone is what has changed my life again. Like, when you leave your comfort zone, you're growing. Automatically, you grow when you leave your comfort zone. My last episode, I was talking heavily about your comfort zone, because it has a lot to do with your mind and your ego just trying to keep you safe. So definitely check that episode out if you haven't listened to it. But it's in our nature to stay comfortable and to stay in our comfort zone. Hence why it's uncomfortable when we leave it, because it's not something that our mind wants to do. But I'm telling you, pushing yourself, you will see results that you would have never seen if you didn't leave your comfort zone. And it could be something as small as complimenting someone on the street when you've never done it before, or you've always just like whispered it to your friend or something, like, oh, she's pretty. Say it out loud, even though that might be uncomfortable to you. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be like starting a business that you want to start, or like starting a YouTube channel, or I don't know. I always use those examples, but I mean, that's pretty common. Like, a lot of people, anyways. Or it could be like talking to someone in public, or going up to a guy and asking for their number. Like, if that's something that's uncomfortable for you, go do it. What's the worst that could happen? Like, really think about it. Like, in 5 years, you will literally be fine. So I don't know, but it shows you, and it shows yourself that you're capable of more than you think. And it allows you to gain confidence and grow, because you're uncomfortable, but you did it. Like, like, okay, I'm okay. Like, I did something I was uncomfortable with. It didn't even turn out that bad. Okay, like, I'm a little confident now. Like, okay, now next time I go to do this, I will be a little bit more confident doing it. Boom, that's growth. Like, you just grew. Leave your comfort zone, even if it's something so small or so big. Taking leaps of faith and knowing that God got us. God will catch us. God knows what we want to do. And there's support behind us always, even if we don't see it. I truly believe that. Like, if we're not meant to do something, and it's going to literally put us in danger or change the trajectory of our lives, and that's not written in God's book for us, it won't happen. But if it is meant to happen, it will happen. I don't even know where that came from. That kind of had nothing to do with anything, but I guess someone needed to hear that. Okay, and number 5, spend time alone. Spend time alone. Take yourself out on solo dates. If you have the means to, also go on solo trips. And that is something that is uncomfortable for a lot of people, but if you leave your comfort zone and you go, you will have the time of your life and you will thank me later. But seriously, spending time alone was something I never did growing up. I grew up with siblings and my mom and a dog. Like, there was always someone in the house, and so I was never fully, truly alone. Even if I was alone in my bedroom, it never was solo for real until I moved out at 18. Out of state. I moved from Tampa to Atlanta, and that's when I really, no, not even, because the first 3 months of me living in Atlanta, I was always with somebody. I was always with a friend. I was always hanging out with somebody. There was probably not more than 24 hours that would go by where I wasn't with somebody. So even then, I still wasn't fully solo and like fully comfortable with myself. And I think that's why I was always hanging out with people, is because as soon as I would be alone for a little too long, a little too uncomfortably long, aka like 24 hours, I would reach out to someone and hang out with someone, or go be in public knowing that, like, okay, there's at least strangers here. Like, I found comfort in numbers or other people rather than myself. Well, as soon as I started intentionally spending time with myself, that's when things changed. That's when I really started to learn myself and be self-aware and be able to change and grow, because I had quiet time. I had solo time where I was actually able to sit and reflect and like think about things. And that's really when the change and healing and all of that started, is when I started being intentional about spending time alone. Obviously, moving out and living alone helped, but just set aside a time. Does that make sense? Set time aside. Wow. Set time aside every day if you can, to just be alone with your thoughts. And it can be uncomfortable and it can be scary, especially when we have negative thoughts or things that we have been running away from for years. But again, that goes back to being, getting out of your comfort zone. The more you sit with your thoughts and they're uncomfortable, the more you can look at them, get a little comfortable with them being uncomfortable, and you can change that and like heal from that. I would not be who I am today if I didn't, one, move out of state at 18, specifically to Atlanta, because of all the things I experienced and people I experienced. But two, if I didn't spend as much solo time as I did, I literally changed my life by being alone and by being self-aware in my head while alone. Not alone on my phone or alone watching a movie. No, alone with myself and like being intentional with what I was thinking and being aware of it. It's literally changed my life, and I am forever grateful for that journey. Obviously, now I love being alone, but there was a time where I hated it and I was uncomfortable and I would cry about it and call my mom like, I feel so weird. I feel so uncomfortable. And now I love it. And now my battery dies and I'm like when I'm out with people and I'm like ready to go home and be solo. Just to quickly touch on solo travel as well, solo trips. I've only technically gone on one intentional solo trip, and that was on my 21st birthday. Well, no, I went for my 20th birthday too. I went to Charlotte. So yeah, I guess technically that was my first solo trip, was to Charlotte. That was the start of my solo birthday trips tradition. I will forever be going out on solo trips on my birthday. Maybe like a few, I'll have friends and family, but there will be a time on that trip where I'm solo. I will go to the spa solo or go do something alone, because it's unmatched. It's genuinely changed my life, and I can't imagine not being solo on my birthday. Like, I know it sounds weird, but I'm so comfortable with myself, and I love myself, and I love hanging out with myself and being by myself, because I'm always learning things about myself, and I'm always just very intentional with the time I spend with myself and what I think and the reflections that go on. And I don't know, it's just really life-changing going on trips, like especially when you're experiencing things that you can't experience at home, aka another city or country. It's so cool. Like, especially to be by yourself and experience it and like just soak in everything and have the ability to pivot whenever you want, change plans whenever you want. And I don't know, it's peaceful. I would not recommend doing that if you're not used to being by yourself, or you're in the beginning stages of, your solo journey, or like just, spending time with yourself. I would not go on a trip. You probably will feel really uncomfortable and really like scared almost, maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's how I would be. But you'll know when you're ready. I don't want you to be held back by fear either, because there will be people like friends and family that obviously are saying this out of love, but they're gonna scare the shit out of you. Okay, they're gonna be like, you're gonna get kidnapped or something can happen, which this is true, yes, but my God, nah. Like, I feel like I am so spiritually protected. I think all of us are. But yeah, I don't think about negative stuff like that. And if I do, I allow it, to come, and I give it to God. And I'm like, okay, well, I will be protected. I will be fine. And if something does happen, I truly believe it's meant to happen, because I don't know. I really don't think negatively like that. And if something negative does happen, I'm thinking positively about it. So if something, God forbid, were to happen to me, I would know, okay, well, this is part of my journey then. This is supposed to happen. Like, I don't think things just happen coincidentally. I don't believe in coincidences at all. But anyway, go on a solo trip at least once in your life. If you can, just please. It will change your life. You will feel so good. Just don't do it like really early if you aren't used to being solo, especially for days on end. That's it. Those are the 5 habits that have changed my life and the things that I will never stop doing. I am so grateful for my journey and where life has taken me. I've learned so much from everything that I've done on this list, and will continue to learn so much from doing these things. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I love you so much, and I will see you guys and talk to you guys next Saturday on the Realist Podcast. Follow me on Instagram. My podcast does have an Instagram account, the Realist Podcast. There's clips and behind the scenes and extra content on there. I am working on getting more consistent on there, so give me a second, but definitely go give it a follow, because okay. Also, you can follow me on my main Instagram account, alyssa.a.howard. Also, I started posting on Snapchat like pretty much all day, every day. So go ahead and add me on Snap if you want to see a little behind the scenes, rants, talks, answering random questions of yours, editing clips, all that. My Snapchat is Snaps of Sissa. It will be in the description in the show notes. But I love you so much. I'll talk to y'all next week. I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening whenever you're watching this. And yeah, I'll call you guys back next week. Love you.